All right, and we're back to our game. So, you guys at during your last game, you finished up all of your carnival games, got some mini prizes from that. You then took on, or you heard rumors that there is some something nefarious happening in Cardin Dead, east of the city by a few days, and through some travels through the woods on the way there, you actually ran across a wanted poster asking for the head of a manticore who had been destroying and attacking local farmsteads, killing people, their livestock, etc. You hunted down the you hunted down this manticore and you destroyed it quite easily. And you made your way down into this this underground chamber that you found underneath the fortress where the manticore was residing. While down here, um, your your cleric Golos decided to smack this giant spider seal with his mace, and instantly was mentally transported to some other place where he saw some weird half woman, half spider being that looked very much like it was going to eat him, and he was snapped back by his god or some other being that he has some type of relationship with. Um, Upon him waking back up, you are actually attacked by some weird bug-looking creature, which you took care of pretty easily. I mean, it gave you a little bit of a challenge, but the scorpion spider bug thing, you did do away with it in the end. And at the end of that session, you all leveled up to level 4. I'm gonna say that you guys benefit from a long rest because of the inspiration of leveling up to 4. So you can take a long rest, get all your HP back, get all your spell slots back, get all your long rest stuff back. So you guys are all up to 34 now. Oh well, you're back up to your maximum hit points and all your stuff. And we find ourselves still in this underground area. What do you guys wish to do?
AGL boys, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and look around, and um, in the meantime, as we were resting, since I don't really rest, I kind of go on standby mode
Mm-hmm.
since I'm part bionic.
Mm-hmm.
I have been busy creating my Steel Defender, which is in the shape of Umbreon. So it's kind of like a dog-like creature. So I've created that in the time that we were resting. So he will be by my side. So
Awesome. You guys see this? Your not quite human biomechanical companion create a biomechanical dog for themselves.
I think you should have gone with K9 from Doctor Who, but other choices have been made.
I appreciate the fandom. Um,
What the other three of you want to do?
okay.
Um, is there anything else down here of notice? I mean, there are doors. Anything else that we would see?
What you can see right now is what you can see right now until you move, because you have the light that you have. So you can move around and you can explore this under area. You haven't done a whole bunch of exploring of it. You kind of just walked around a little bit.
Um,
What's going on right here? Is this
y-
a doorway or
That
I was
something?
gonna
that is a
say,
door.
can we open the door?
Yeah, you can open the door and you can go inside. So boom, we'll bring that in with you. So you go inside and you see that there is a rug on the floor, a old trunk of sorts, right here. You see there's a table with some knocked over chairs and a few other just like countertops over here. Um, it looks like this may have been someone's storage room, supply room, maybe. But
I'd like to loot the trunk.
go ahead and roll a investigation check to see if it is trapped and or locked. 6. You open the chest and you find there doesn't seem to be anything super valuable in here. There's some cloth that you could use to maybe to make some clothes and whatnot, but you do find that there are 10 gold pieces in there. So it looks like this may have been someone's personal, like, just Foot Locker where they kept a couple extra T-shirts, a pair of socks, some cloths, and a little bit of their money. So you get 10
I'll
gold
take
pieces.
the money and the cloth. Yeah.
All right, so you get cloth, enough cloth to probably repair one full set of robes. If you just make patchwork robes if you had to fix them.
Nice. Do I have to add my own gold?
Yeah. Go into click on equipment and then click currency, and then you should just be able to put 10 and click add under the gold section.
Boom.
Boom,
All
boom,
right.
pow.
Should we go back in?
Are you looking to go through this door, Neo, or this door,
Um,
Oliver?
This, I don't know what this is in front of me. Well, obviously it's a throne of some kind.
Oh no, it's just like a side table, and this is a
Okay.
couch. Yeah, it's like a couch and a side table. Oliver, as you walk through, you see a bed which looks to have been recently slept in, maybe. It's not made, and it's not covered in dust or anything, so you kind of put 2 and 2 together and think it's probably been slept in recently. And just like a storage table, almost like a longer desk, and that's all it seems to be in this room.
Can I roll an investigation check?
Sure. $18. What are you looking for?
Just looking for any clues as to who maybe slept in this bed.
Okay. As you look through the bed, you don't see anything in particular that might lead you to um, have like an ID of any sort of who might be the owner of this bed, but there is a smell. Um, it's almost sulfurous, but
Th-
it's kind of faint. So it looks like the smell may have been here a while ago, but the remnants of it are still somewhat present.
Say that again. What's the smell?
Sulfurous,
Okay.
like a faint sulfur smell. Almost, you get the faint whiff of rotten eggs. Very, very faint, but it's there.
Is there anything else that looks like it would be useful to know around doing a quick scan?
In the room where you are right now, you see that there's another door over here. But in the room that you're in, no, it just looks like it was the main, like common room of the residents of these 2 other rooms.
Gotcha. Well, I guess I will go back out.
Okay. Are you going through this door, anyone?
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and walk through this door.
Okay. Cool. You walk into this room with your steel defender, and you see that there is a bed with another chest on the opposite side of it, and like a little rug at the bottom of the bed on the floor.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and roll an investigation. Check out this chest.
Do it. All right. So with a 16, looking through that chest, you kind of dig around a little bit, and as you're digging through, you're finding same kind of things. There's some clothes, a little bit of money. There's only like 10 silver in there. But as you're digging around, your hand feel something cold and metallic, and as you like wrap your knuckles on it, it feels like there's almost a false bottom to this chest. And as you kind of feel around for the seams of this chest, you lift up what is a false bottom of the chest, and you find there to be a very nice looking shield underneath there. And it is a +1 shield.
Damn.
+1 shield.
Mm-hmm. So if you go into equipment, click manage equipment, and then click on
Well, I already have my current shield at a +1 because of my infusion.
that's fine. You can if you can take the infusion off of that shield and use a different infusion if you want, or if somebody else in your party can use a shield, you can give that to them.
That's what I was going for.
You can also put that +1 bonus on your scale mail, so you can actually get your AC up even more. Fun fact. Because that can go on your armor or your
I can take
chest.
from the current shield. Yeah.
And you can put it on your armor. Yep.
Mhm.
So you find yourself a +1 shield, and if you want to take the infusion off of your current shield and put it on your armor, you are more than welcome to do that and equip yourself a +1 shield. So.
I may just do that. So I'm gonna be tinkering in this room, guys.
Okay, cool.
Don't mind.
You're doing yourself a big old tinker. Solid, solid. So you guys are there. Are Kashar and Golas? What are you guys doing?
Hmm. What? Are there any other doors over here? Like,
Bunch up here. And what looks like a big white void. Oh, hey, found another room.
You did see another.
Are these coffins?
So you actually avoided the door, but the door is over here. But you made your way in.
What?
Those are bookcases, actually, not coffins.
Okay.
As you
We'll
walk in,
scan
yep.
pieces for anything that might be useful.
As you walk into
Where
it,
the
you
hell
see
am
two. You are right down here. So go ahead and roll a investigation, Kashar, on your books. 8. Okay, so you find nothing that necessarily tickles your fancy as far as the type of book that. What type of book are you looking for specifically, or just anything in general?
Anything in general that might be useful, especially anything related to this.
Okay, so you find a book on Underdark botany.
Ooh.
That's really the only thing that kind of piques your interest. There are some other books there, but they're more like um, fictional novels and like books of poems or just books in languages that you don't understand at the immediate glance. Nothing that necessarily piques your interest, but this one seems like it could come in handy at some point because more knowledge is always useful. So, and you do see scanning through this book, it does give information on some plants that could be used for poisons and some plants that could be used for healing tonics and salves, maybe. But you'd have to really dig into that and really start trying to figure out how to make those kind of things. So, Oliver.
I'm just checking up north here.
Okay. So,
Oh, what's this thing?
well, that was a room that the door is up here. That's fine. So this seems to be another common area that has some tables, some side tables, a rug, and a couch. It looks like people have been carving out sections of what would be like the supporting walls of this cavern and digging little hidey holes into it just for comfort, as well as there are people that probably lived here at some point.
Okay. Can I roll would I do an investigation check if I was trying to find stuff, just like
Yeah.
shields or swords or whatever?
Yep.
What's this door down here by me, Win?
6. One sec. You don't find any swords or shields or anything like that. The fabric on the couch looks a little nice, and as you dig through it, you do find that there is like 5 platinum coins in there that have just kind of been buried in the couch, but that's about it.
Okay,
So that's the equivalent of 50 gold, by the way, but 5 platinum.
I'll take that.
This is just what you're looking at right now is a door that goes into a room. Golos,
I go in.
go in, and you take your little ball of light in there with you. This looks like just a storage room. There's some grain in here, some rocks in here, some busted up boxes, and some more rocks.
Um, anything cool with an investigation check?
No, this is just you can literally see everything around here. It's not like there's
Mhm.
anything hidden. It's just this seems to be one of those rooms that they literally just probably use for storage, whether that's crates or they use the boxes or things like that. There's nothing in that
Gotcha.
section right there. This is actually a section you can't go in. That's you're not supposed to be able to go into that section or this one. Actually, I can fix that right now. Hold on 1 second. Bam. Now it shouldn't let you go through. Now you can't force your way through my walls. Which could be inconvenient, but hey, whatever. I'll pull you back out here.
Oh, yeah, no shit. Bummer.
So, as you guys are, well, actually, it doesn't matter that much here. I'll do it here. All right, cool. So you can move yourself around now, no problem.
I can do whatever I want. Look at me, I'm a ghost.
I can do whatever I want. As you guys are walking around, you start to hear a deep breeze coming from this direction over here. And as you would walk over that way, you could start to feel this cold kind of air blowing out. This seems to be a darker tunnel.
Go. What do y'all think?
I send the drift globe over to take a look.
Okay. Let me see how far you can see. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. So it looks like it is a tunnel that expands further and further down into this system.
Do I know right or left? Like, which way is more promising?
Down here down here if you look, because you can see from the drift globe, the this way is where the breeze is coming from, and it kind of curves over to the right. Well, I guess if from your direction, if you're looking down, it'll be curving over to the left. And this side right here, this seems to be blocked by some rocks. Like you can see maybe 15 feet in, but it kind of seems just to be like a collapsed tunnel. This is the only tunnel you found so far that seems to be like open to anything really. The other ones go back a little ways, but they all seem to either come to dead ends or they're collapsed, or they don't really seem to be anything that's more than like a natural kind of occurrence in the land. This one seems to be more like man-made.
How much work would it take to clear the other tunnel? Or is it even possible?
It would take you about 10 days of 8 hours a day of hard manual labor.
Hashtag fuck that. To the south we go.
Only we had our Minotaur.
Right, it would take him even longer because he's not strong. Fun fact. Alright, you want to go down that tunnel?
Sure.
Does everybody else wish to go with him down this tunnel?
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, last time we left him alone, he picked a fight with a fucking dragon bird, so we should probably follow him.
And he almost killed it single-handedly.
That is
so-
true.
That's true. It did work out.
Let me get you guys, and I'm gonna put you guys all close together just so I can move you all. 1, 2, 3.
4, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Am I missing a token of someone? Probably.
I'm still in the room where I found my +1
You're
shield.
missing me too.
Well, I haven't moved everyone over yet. There we go. I'd already
Me
moved.
there, but
I'd
we-
already moved you over. I moved some of you over. I was just going by what I could see and what I couldn't see. Cool. So, let me put you guys where you should be. Did I move you twice? Oh, I totally copied you twice, Neo. There we go. That's what I wasn't trying to do. Make sure this is right here. Cool. Alright, so, you guys, as you follow down through this tunnel, you make your way here. Into the tunnel. further into the tunnel. So, you can put yourselves in whatever order you want to put yourselves. I just copied you over in that order, so you guys can rearrange yourself.
Lie,
I-
you fools.
I have dark vision, right? So I should probably go up front, right?
I believe those who don't have dark vision have a combination of looking through the drift globe, so you can all see because of the drift globe. That's for 100% sure.
That's Norse.
Yep.
Argolos,
And those
whatever
of
your
you
name
who
is.
don't have dark vision, those of you who do have dark vision can see, but those of you who don't, the drift globe is basically a floating lantern that's you get to direct with yourself. And you can put that light ahead of you too. It doesn't have to stay on your shoulder, Alex. It can go ahead of you. Basically, it can go. You can basically direct it 30 feet ahead of you at all times, 30 feet away from you in any direction. So it can go to about here where this green arrow is. So from you. So you can you can just keep it 30 feet from you, any direction that you can see at all times if you want to, or on yourself. It doesn't matter. So. But yeah, so you guys see this tunnel.
Let's keep walking.
Yeah, I was rocking around.
Rock and roll, roll, rock and roll.
A bend. It turns.
Somebody cue up the music from Sweden. Da 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 da.
We got a fork. Do we always go right or always go left? I'm going right. There's a chest, maybe?
That's what that looks like.
Can I check for traps around the bend here, Win?
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check for traps.
Damn.
Sick.
You don't seem to notice any traps.
Is this a chest next to me, Win?
Got out.
Looted?
You can show where we've got yeah.
But yeah, you don't seem to have any traps there.
Okay.
The chest does seem to be locked though.
I don't know
Anything
if it's
down
locked.
this way?
Ooh.
The
try to
tunnel
pick
bends
the
a little bit more. You want to try and pick the lock? Okay. If you want to try and pick the lock, go ahead and roll. Do you have thieves' tools?
Before I
have
try to pick the lock, is anyone's
Pick the
character
lock.
actually good at picking a lock?
Hold on, that's what I'm trying to check right now. Where would that all be in? Is that in other?
If you have, it would be. So on your sheet, if you look under tools, it would say like a list of tools that you are proficient with. Like I know right now that Neo is proficient in thieves tools.
Mm-hmm.
So they could use thieves tools and outright be able to. Probably
Well,
try.
then you do it. Then you do it.
Hey,
Don't worry about
Neo.
Yes. So.
So Neo, what you can give me then is just roll me any of your skills that has a +3 to it, because effectively it's dexterity plus
I see.
proficiency.
Sorry, I had to dip out.
So you
Okay.
can roll, like, it looks like you have medicine. It's a +3. So just roll the medicine check, and I'll use that as your pick
Okay.
check. 13. Okay. Yeah. As you fiddle around with the lock, it takes a minute or two, and you hear it, chick, and you hear a break in the lock.
Job, you thieving bastard.
And as you open it up, you see that inside this chest there is 50 gold pieces, as well as hold on, I'm about to sneeze.
Big deal. I found that in a bed.
There we go. Whew. Well, there are more coins in this one. Instead of just more value, there's more coins. But
I mean, more shit to carry.
you find two things. You find a ring, and you find a cloak, and 50 gold pieces.
A ring and a cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share that love on that chest I found there, buddy?
Do you want to try and take a minute to try and identify the cloak or the ring?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and detect magic on them.
Okay, good call. As you cast Detect Magic on these items, they are both indeed, excuse me, they are both indeed very magical items. You see that one of them is a ring of protection, and one of them is a cloak of protection.
Okay. And then, yeah, I know Kaishar was the one who was originally looking in the chest. So
Hmm.
as I detect the magic, I turn and I look at Kaishar and I see, you know, it seems that this ring is a, you said ring of,
Protection.
yeah, ring of protection. So both protection, right?
Yeah, they're both ring of protection and a cloak of protection.
Okay.
They both effectively do the same thing. One is just a cloak and one is a ring. So,
So are you offering me one of those?
Yeah. So take your pick.
Well,
I
I think
I
the
have
cloak
my
matches your color better. Really makes your eyes pop.
so which item are you taking?
I like the ring, please.
The ring? Yeah. Have
okay.
at it.
Okay.
I'll take the
I
cloak.
should put a ring on it.
Okay.
So, do I hear any mumblings of like them, like, oh, do you want this? Do you want that?
Go ahead and roll a perception check, because you're pretty far away from them at this point. You're about 80 feet away. 17, we'll say that you don't hear necessarily the specifics of, like, the item names, but
Mm-hmm.
you know that they are talking about that he found something. That he found a couple of things inside the chest that he just picked open. So,
Mm,
you know that he found something, but you don't know specifically what it is that he found.
gotcha.
So, do you want me to add the ring of protection to your inventory, Peter? I will do
Do
that
you know
for
how
you.
to do it?
I do know how to do it. So, ring of protection, I will add it. Technically, these are attunement items, but I'm going to skip the attunement rules for right now because they normally take an hour to attune to, but yeah, I don't want to wait an hour for you guys to be able to use them. So, as you guys are walking through the caves, any items that you find you can attune to. So if you look at your page now, you have an armor class of 13, and all of the saves for you all went up by 1 because that's what the ring of protection does. So you're a little hardier. Your saves are a little better. When you look at this ring, it's like a gold banded ring with a silver um, shield on it with diamonds encrusting all around the shield. A little bit of gold plating in the shield too. So
Victor, I will not forget your fairness in this whole endeavor.
and then are you keeping the cloak for yourself, Neo, or are you handing it off to somebody?
So I'm gonna call out for whoever hears it. I have this cloak that I found, and it's magical. Does anybody look like they need protection?
Your
You know,
voice down.
Golos, you hear him say, does anybody need a cloak for protection, though?
I'll take it.
How the tables have turned.
How the turntables.
I'll come running over.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and add a cloak of protection to your inventory, and then you can just attune to it right away.
Fuck yes.
So,
And then where's Oliver at this point?
Oliver kind of
I'm
ran ahead a little bit, just exploring.
Okay.
And you guys are back here chatting, and Oliver's still just running around some tunnels. Hasn't really seen too much yet. You can continue to. Oh, there you go. So Oliver, as you come towards um, the end of this tunnel that you're currently in, you see that there is another chest that's back there, but in front of it is a pretty thick spider web blocking the way. It doesn't seem like it's a hardy spider web. It just looks like there's a lot of spider webs that are there. Like it's been, like there have been spiders living in this cave for a long time, and it's just made a web in front of the chest. So
Can I like cut through it?
you absolutely can. You can throw fire at it, or you can cut it with a sword.
I'm always nervous about doing fire in a cave.
I will tell you, you will not immolate yourself in this cave with fire.
Okay, I'll fire at that.
Okay.
Fireball this.
So
fucker.
just throw your produce flame attack at this thing.
You don't have some Olive Garden themed grilling.
Yeah.
And,
It's a spicy meatball. I say.
Get
as
some
I
red
throw it.
pepper flakes.
and you burn this. You set the web on fire. It just catches pretty quickly as you threw a literal ball of fire at it, and the chest is now available to you.
Great. I try to open it.
Cool. This one doesn't seem to be trapped. It seemed like the only trap for this for this chest was the spider web, to try and trap any small critters that may try and get back there, or any bugs, which took
Any-
it easy.
Small bugs looking for gold.
You never know. They might try and use that for their home. It's pretty dry in there and not wet like this
I
cave.
went west looking for gold. All right.
Right? Spider looking for gold. As you open the chest, you find that there's not as much money in there. There's 15 silver pieces, but there is also a +1 longsword in there.
Oh, I take that shit.
As you
Yep.
take this sword, you see that you hold your bottomless dead stick in one hand and this longsword in the other, and you kind of get the idea that you can put them together. And as you take your longsword and you stick it through the base of the bottomless dead stick, you reinforce your dead stick, as it is now a +1 bottomless dead stick.
It is
This
now.
thing that much more oxidized.
It is now the bottomlesser dead stick.
All right, I will add the +1 longsword to your inventory for you. Proficient, magical, longsword +1. Cool. So now, if you look at your actions, you should see your longsword is green, and now you do +6 to hit, and a 1d8 and 1d10 +4. So now you do a little bit more.
Yes.
All right. So you find that, Kaishar, Golos, what you guys doing?
I'm wandering down here.
Okay.
Now, are there any traps?
You can roll perception checks and see if you notice anything as you walk down through this cave. 14. You don't seem to notice anything trap-like. It sounds like an underground cave in that you're seeing and hearing water dripping. It's pretty humid down here, and you feel a little bit of breeze every now and again, but you don't notice anything that would necessarily be a trap. So,
Now, do I have to keep on doing the perception checks, or is that just through the whole thing?
I mean, I'd say if you feel like you want to roll one, if you feel like something is making you uneasy, you're more than welcome to. But as for right now, you don't see any. For the trail that you're on, for everything you have seen so far, nothing has led you to believe that there is a trap in the direction that you are currently traveling. Now, if you go down a different hallway that you haven't already been down, that could change, but for what you can see and do, then that's not a trap.
Do
That
I notice this?
Yeah, you do. You notice a big blood streak on the ground.
Huh. Oh, geez. Can I do a survival check to see what may have caused that, or?
Yeah, you can.
I noticed this.
Yes, you do. It's a lot of blood. It's human blood.
Human blood? Is there a drag pattern or anything that would identify what dragged it or how old it is?
Do you follow it, or do you just want to look to what you can see? Because for what you can see, it looks like it has started to be drug.
I will just kind of motion back to, is it Rykar or
Kaishar.
or Kaishar? And kind of point to the blood, and then go get the others.
Go back to grip the bottomless breadstick boy.
What's that?
You got blood, man.
Like, we found a big pile of blood. We gotta group up.
Okay,
Get
I'm
going.
I'm there. Let's do it.
Neo, you hear them mention a big pile of blood and a streak of blood
Hmm.
going this way.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and follow the group since
'Kay.
I would like to investigate this further.
I will send the drift globe 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet down and
Okay.
follow it. Is the blood getting fresher or is it still kind of the same?
It still looks the same.
Let me roll a investigation.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Do I hear any disconcerting sounds or anything like that the closer that, or the longer that we're following the path?
Nope. Not yet, anyway. You, as of right now, even being quiet, you just kind of hear the sounds of the cave. You hear increasing sounds of water, but not like raging water or anything. It just sounds like there's more.
Let's see.
To
So there's a dead
offer
end
to
there.
cast invisibility on one of our stronger characters and send them ahead.
You can.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
You like my streak of blood I made? So good.
Oh, did you make this?
I made this map.
Oh, that's awesome.
I made it
Very
today.
detailed.
Neo, are you sticking with the group or are you hanging back there?
Follow the trail. Did my investigation 9?
Okay.
Did my investigation of 9 give me, as I look at the blood, does it tell me anything like,
Just that it's human.
okay, it's human. Is it coagulated?
It's starting to. It's not brand new and fresh. It's looking a couple days old at least.
Okay, so some coagulation, some oxidation. Okay.
Yeah, and you can
Um,
see where they were actively bleeding more in some parts because the trail, where it is thicker there and thinner, that is where they were bleeding more. So it looks like they may have been.
Coagulation.
No breathing.
No bleeding.
Yep. They may have been hit more than once on this path, so they were probably fighting. You guys all kind of put two and two together. They were probably resisting at some point, and they were bleeding out more and more. And where there are bigger, thicker patches of blood, they were definitely hit again in the face or the head or some other part of their body. As you approach this, you see a pool of water with a altar in the middle of it. It looks like the blood leads to the water and just kind of disappears. And as you approach the altar, you see that they're not on the map, but there are a few bones left on the altar. Maybe a couple finger bones and like the bottom part of a skull maybe.
could I do a religion check to see if it belongs to any certain deity or anything?
Do you want to step into the water and up onto the altar to do that? Or are you trying from far
No,
away?
just from what I can see from like right here.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll a religion check. You know that there are lots of religions where sacrifice is part and parcel with it, and it's not always human sacrifice. Sometimes there are religions that need like an animal sacrifice or a sacrifice of money or time or sheep, something like that. But as far as like, you don't necessarily know what these bones are. You just know that they look like they're probably human. They're probably a lower limb or upper limb and a piece of a skull, just because you know human anatomy fairly well. Um, but you don't have any idea in particular of who this might be a sacrifice to, or even if it is a sacrifice to anybody.
Do we see any writing or runes?
You do not see any writing or runes on this altar. Everything that is on there that seems to be etched in there seems to be very, very old and seems to have been worn to the point that it doesn't seem like you could read it.
Is there a stick or a stone around that I could pick up?
Yeah, you're in a cave effectively. There's plenty of small stones and stuff. Or if you don't see it on the ground, you can just go break one off the wall.
So I'm just gonna grab a small little pebble or something and just, throw it in the water. Does that do anything?
As you throw it in the water, and you all listen for a second. Everybody make perception checks for me, please.
I don't hear shit.
Okay.
None of us hear anything. Didn't even hear the goddamn stone get thrown.
Um, as you
I heard something.
as you
I think I
throw
hit the gong too loud. I
as you
can't hear
throw
you.
the stone and it makes that blop, the big ploppy sound, and you're watching the ripples of this water, you see that it's a little deeper the closer you get to the altar because the water is a little darker. And as the ripples kind of make their way to the edges of this pool, and you hear whoosh, a small little splash, Kaishar, you hear something which kind of takes you off guard a little bit. You hear what sounds like a really deep ribbit.
Oh my God, no.
And as you look to the sound of the ribbit, you see a giant frog.
Oh, jeez.
I need you all to roll initiative.
Not like this. Not like
Roll
this.
initiative.
Oh, why did it do? That was me. I did that twice. That's my fault.
Up there. Okay, I found it. Figured it out.
Who else rolled a
Let's see. So you rolled. So your steel defender goes right after you, so you don't have
Yeah.
to worry about that. Neo rolled and Golos rolled. Remember, guys, if you click your token before you roll, it will automatically add you to the turn order.
Yeah, I forgot to do that once.
You are fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. All right, Neo, you are up, and you see this giant frog with a arm hanging out of its mouth.
Nah.
All right. Well, I think that's human, and
Yeah, that's been-
it looks like this. It looks like this thing is hungry, so I'm gonna go ahead.
Been munching on that dude for 2 days.
You gotta savor it, man.
Here's the bigger picture
All
of what
that
it
bone
looks like.
broth.
Something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and
Murder.
yeah.
Oh, I don't need to put your steel defender in here because he already has things.
Yeah,
So who's
he's
not
good
in the
enough.
order? Neil, Oliver. Oh, it's Kaishar. Kaishar, you
Oh.
rolled a 12. Okay. There you
Alright,
are.
I'm gonna go ahead and move to the opposite side of this pool area because Does is the monster just sitting there? Does he look aggressive?
As you notice him, you take a quick gander at him. You see the arm that he had in hanging from his mouth. He chomps it down and swallows it, and you see his frog neck thing get real big, and his tongue just flops out onto the ground, and he looks directly at you, like he's coming for you.
Hmm.
What do you want to do?
All right, we're gonna go ahead and. All right, this guy looks aggressive, so we're gonna cast Firebolt at it.
Go for it. 17 does hit for 3 damage.
3 damage, nice.
'Kay.
And the Firebolt, yeah, it is within range, so
That
I'm
is.
essentially behind this pool, shooting Firebolts at it.
Do you want your steel defender to do anything? Because it has movement that you can have it
Field
do.
Defender can stay where he is for now.
Okay. Oliver Guardsman. It's your turn.
I'm slicing this bitch with my bottomless or dead stick.
Bottomless or dead sticks. Alright. Run up to him and take a hack. And slash. 16 does hit, so you're effectively here. Well, you gotta be like here actually. Yeah, that'll hit.
Where is
16
it?
will hit.
Which one is it?
You can just click that green button.
What?
Well, I moved you up to him because you had to be there to hit him with your sword. Yeah, you had to be up in him. You can't attack him with a sword from where you are. Your token has to be up here.
You
Yeah.
have to be in his
Oh,
face.
that's what I was asking. I couldn't see him.
Oh, yeah, he's right there. Yeah, I moved you to him
Alright.
probably because your light was not working for you. Cool. +6. So you actually swung with the wrong sword for some reason. I think you're still clicking on your old one. So you should just click on the one that's green because you should get a +6 from your sword now. But you still hit him anyway. So
Which one is? I don't see anything in green. I have my long sword, crossbow, produce flame, unarmed.
refresh your page. Refresh your character sheet. There should be a green longsword comma +1 under your crossbow.
Oh, I see it.
Yep.
Okay.
You mean you still hit him anyway, so yeah, you hit him either way. So we'll just take the we will take the damage from the first one. And actually, since you are specifically you're using 2 hands to attack, so 11 damage. Cool. Great. Awesome. So that was, yeah, you hit him with the first one with 16. So that has higher damage, so I'll just take that one. But yeah, so with the longsword +1, basically your weapon is now considered magical. And what that means is that one, you do more damage and you hit harder, but anything that has resistance to non-magical weapon damage, your sword just ignores that and just attacks like normal. So.
Sweet.
Anything else on your turn?
Do I have enough space to move back?
You move 5, 10, you move like 15 feet, so yeah, you can move back some feet.
Yeah, I'll move back 15 feet.
Cool. He's gonna take an attack of opportunity at you as you try to run away.
Oh, I forgot that happens.
You can stay there if you want.
Yeah, I'll just stay there.
Okay. Alright, well then it is Kaishar's turn.
Okay,
Hey,
so,
Dora, what are you eating? Drop it.
point of clarification, cantrips can be used over and over again.
Yep.
But spells can only be used, you can only use 2 in a rest.
You can only use 2 in a short rest, yes.
Okay.
Dora, drop it.
Gotcha. Cool. Can I like roll perception to look for weak points on this guy?
You can try. It's gonna be a pretty high DC. But you can try. So roll a perception check. 16. It just looks like a giant frog.
Cool. In that case, I'm going to. I guess I'll just move this way so I can get an angle on him, and
'Kay.
then Eldritch Blast.
Alright.
Coming at your face.
Do it. Do it to it. That misses, unfortunately, with a 14.
That is unfortunate.
Do you wish to move anywhere else or do anything on a bonus action?
Yep, I'm just gonna come back towards these guys where I was.
'Kay.
To be safer.
Alright, this giant frog, also known as a banderhob, is going to... He's going to slap you with his tongue, Oliver.
Okay.
So a natural 20 does hit. It's an auto crit because it's a natural 20.
Whoa.
And since we said last week we wanted to do the maximum damage ones for a while to check them out, that means you're going to take 18, 25. You're going to take 25 damage because of the crit damage. And then I need you to make a strength saving throw, please. So go ahead and roll your strength save. And guys, by the way, he's looking bad. And since you failed your strength saving throw,
He's paralyzed.
you are pulled within 5 feet of him. And on his next turn, he'll get to take an extra bite attack at you. But what he's going to do is, he's actually going to use an ability, and he's going to teleport 30 feet with you wrapped up in his tongue. He's basically going to move to right here.
He
So
can teleport?
he has the ability to... It almost looks like he fades into a shadow and then reappears right in front of you, Golos.
They teleport now? They
Oh my
teleport
God.
now.
Yeah, so Oliver's looking real bad now after that hit of a bunch of damage. He's down to 9 HP. Um,
Wait, wasn't I after I got my level up? Wasn't I at 46, not 34?
oh, were you at 46?
Yeah.
Well, then you have more than 9 HP. I just didn't change them on
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank God. I was
So
like,
plus 12. So plus 12. So you're actually at 21. What is everybody's HP? Because I did not update their tokens. Golos, what's your HP?
33.
Cool. Yeah, I forgot to update the tokens. That's what I forgot to do. Neo, what's yours?
33.
Hmm?
Mine should be current 33.
All right, that's right. Cool. And then Kashar, what is your HP?
34.
Cool. Yeah, I just forgot to update everybody's tokens. So you're not quite as dead as you were like 2 seconds ago, but you're still not feeling good.
an ambulance, but not for me.
Yeah,
But
call.
maybe.
But maybe we don't know. Golos, it is your turn.
Boy.
This giant ass frog with Oliver wrapped in its tongue just shadow stepped right to you.
Yeah.
I'm just
Is.
with a tongue wrapped around my throat. It
Mhm.
can teleport.
You hit it with a breadstick, it wrapped you with a mozzarella stick. You know.
See, I like to think that when it like tongue slapped you, the hand that was on the tongue just bitch slapped you.
Yeah, it's a Danza slap.
Like, talk about great dexterity.
Mhm.
I. Oh man.
What you gonna do?
I think that I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt on it.
So, because of where you are, you're in melee range. It's a ranged spell attack that will be at disadvantage for you because you're in melee range. So you'd have to step back to get out of melee range to cast, out of your melee range to cast a ranged spell at normal. That's how it works
On
with like bows
second
too.
thought,
So,
I am gonna slap it with Inflict Wounds.
all right, that sounds good.
Sounds great.
You do hit, and you do a significant amount of damage. 21 necrotic damage. All right. You gonna do anything with a bonus action or a movement?
Let's see what I even could do bonus action.
You can't cast another
Um,
spell because you've already cast one. So,
Hmm.
mhm.
You can use her to fuel your spells as a bonus. Sorry, I'm reading something real quick. Even though it says Healing Word could be used as a bonus action.
Yeah, so there are bonus action spells, and if you
Mhm.
use them, you can cast them, but then for your action, you can only cast a cantrip. So if you cast, like, Sacred Flame, you can then cast Healing Word as a bonus action. But if you cast a leveled spell, like a Guiding Bolt, Inflict Wounds, anything at level 1 or above, that takes your spellcasting action for that turn. So the
Got
only way that
it.
you could cast more than that is if you take levels in fighter and action surge because you give yourself another action. So
Okay. Nope. I'm just going to bonus action ready my mace
okay, cool.
and then pass turn.
All right, Neo. What you wanna do?
So seeing this tongue slap Oliver,
Mhm.
give him business, and then fade into black, and then come out of nowhere, I'm gonna go ahead and run up, right, kind of behind them,
Mhm.
with my steel defender here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on Oliver.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that spell. So Oliver, you get 8 more hit points back.
That's real nice.
Well, that's real nice, guys. Okay.
Yeah,
Do you have anything you want to do with your bonus action?
and then I should be able to.
You can have your steel defender attack as your bonus action.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Okay.
And then I'll have my steel defender right next to me.
Okay.
Go out and attack with my steel defender.
Cool. And then you just roll your attack for force punch, and you can
Yeah.
flavor it however you want it to be.
extras. Steel defender. Horse. Horse rend.
Force rend. That's right. A 9 unfortunately does miss.
That does miss.
But remember, you have the reaction with your steel defender too that you can use once per round.
Yes.
And that's separate from your reaction. That does not cost your reaction to do that. Oliver, you are up.
Can I do anything wrapped in this tongue?
You can. So you're not restrained or anything. It's wrapped around you. All it means is that because of the way that it wrapped you and stepped, it's going to automatically get an extra bite attack on you on its next turn. So you're not
Okay.
like restrained or anything, but it's going to be able to bite you in addition to whatever else it does on its coming turn.
Got you.
Mhm.
Can I just attack it, or do I have to attack like its tongue, or
You
I
can
attack
you can attack it outright if you want to. You can attack its tongue, you can attack its body, you can attack it however you wish.
All right, I'm gonna attack this fucker again with my bottomless or dead stick.
Do it. A 9 will unfortunately miss.
Fucking fuck. It's a little woozy from the. Did anyone get the number of that bitch? Oh, well, it'll miss. I don't know why I did that. Sorry.
Yeah, it's alright. So do you want to action surge or second wind or anything on your turn?
No, I'm gonna
No.
see how this goes.
Okay. Oh, also I renamed your longsword for you. So if you refresh your page again, you'll see its new name. And when you roll, it's gonna show up like that too in the sheet. So,
Yes.
Kaishar, it's your turn.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a way to know the monster's intelligence score?
There is not.
Okay.
Not without just getting damn lucky. Or here's what I'll do. I'll let you roll the survival check, and if you roll a natural 20, I'll tell you what its intelligence score. I'll tell you if it's above whatever number you're looking for.
You want to know a fun thing?
So you do not know. It looks like a giant frog to you.
That is a big ass frog. All right, I'm gonna get a little closer, and then I'm going to try to cast hideous laughter on this frog,
Okay.
because I want to know what a frog sounds like when it's laughing.
Okay. And what does that spell do? 14.
It finds everything as hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughter. The target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration.
Okay. I'm just checking. Is it?
Anybody
Cool.
who's ever come to my stand-up.
Alrighty. So wisdom, you said? Wisdom saving throw?
Mhm.
Natural 1. It fails. So it falls, and you hear this weird, like, you remember the Budweiser frogs who would sing?
Yeah.
It sounds like that, but they're just laughing and laughing. I clicked use just so it would come off your thing, so you can just ignore mine. But, yep. So it just falls, and it's just laughing over and over and over again, rolling around. It lets go of you, Oliver. And so it can't stand up. It just falls prone. So I'm gonna put this little broken heart on him. So anything else you want to do on your turn?
Nope.
All right. It's its turn, and for the duration of the spell, I believe it cannot do anything. So it can make a save at the end of each of its turn, and each time it takes damage. Okay, cool. So it's gonna make the save again because it can't do anything on its turn. So it's gonna end its turn and try and make the save. It made it that time, so it's no longer laughing. But you did also avoid it doing multiple attacks to multiple people. So
Thank you.
you saved a whole round of murder. Golos, it's your turn.
That's hilarious.
I am going to smack it with my mace, and if I hit, then I would also like to do the Channel Divinity Touch of Death.
Yep, sounds good to me.
So for the mace, oh you motherfucker, it literally just rolled over to a 6.
That's very unfortunate. It does miss.
That sucks.
Do you wish to do anything with your bonus action or your movement?
Bonus action, I'll do Healing Word on Oliver.
Okay, roll up drop that healing word. Oliver, you get 6 more points of healing. So you're starting to feel pretty good comparatively to what you were just. Fun fact,
Teamwork.
each full round is 6 seconds, so about 12 seconds ago you felt like absolute trash. You feel better. It's been a long 12 seconds. Okay, Neo.
All right. So, seeing this frog laugh momentarily, but still having Oliver in its grasp, I'm gonna go ahead and get on the other side of it here. The Steel Defender can come with me.
Okay.
Take out my long sword
Do
and
it.
start wailing at it.
Do it. With your infused magical longsword, which unfortunately will miss. Do you wish to attack with your Steel Defender?
And then, yeah, we'll attack with my Steel Defender again, since this thing doesn't look like he's gonna give up anytime soon. So we're gonna go Force Rend. Steel Defender. Oh, there we go.
That does hit for 6 force damage. Solid,
As my
solid damage.
mechanic dog-like creature gives a nice chomp at the frog.
Solid stuff. Okay, so your dog takes
And I
its
do.
turn. And Oliver, it is your turn again.
All right, motherfucker. You're getting dead sticked.
Dead or sticked?
That does miss.
God damn it.
A little woozy, apparently.
I'm a bit slopping the flagon.
Is that your turn?
I can't that's it for attack, right? I can't do anything else.
Unless
besides-
you action surge and take another attack, then that is your attack, yes.
All right. Yeah, I will hold off for now.
Okay. Kashar.
I'm going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement.
Oh no. Alright. Cast that spell. A DC 14 Constitution saving throw. I rolled a 19, unfortunately, so
Don't I need to make a save since I'd be in that cone too?
it's not a cone, it's a ray. That does not affect you. It affects one creature. Basically, because and it'll say specifically if it's a cone, and if it is a cone or a sphere that affects multiple people in a group, then you would make it. But since it is,
It says
yeah, it's a single target
the
ray
current
spell.
creature.
Yep. Yeah, and if he hits it, it does half damage with all weapon attacks that use strength, and he takes damage and stuff like that. So it's just a single target. Big old boy. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
That's right.
Alrighty. Well then,
No, wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What'd you say?
I said did that missed, right?
Yeah, it missed. He rolled a 19.
Yeah, and I can't cast another spell because
Correct.
I just did that.
Correct.
Even if it's a
Correct.
cantrip?
Yep, correct.
And I rest. Good luck, guys. I tried.
Alright, so this Banderhob, who's a slobby not Banderhob, is gonna go ahead and take its tongue attack. First of all, at he's got choices. Let's see. He's gonna roll it against Skolos.
Bring
Tongue-
it my way, you son of a
Tongue
bitch.
attack against Skolos for 17, which hits you for
No.
9. Yeah, it does. You have a 17 AC, right?
I have an 18
You have 18
from
now.
the Cloak of Protection.
You are right. It did not update your token. Look at that. Items doing their job. Cool. It slaps you in the face with its tongue, and it goes to wrap around you, and you just feel this slimy run down your face and neck, and just kind of you brush out of it as you get this horrifying chill down your back. And it turns over to you, Oliver, and it's going to take its bite attack now on you from before when it grabbed you. That's a 15 to hit, which I'm pretty sure misses you because you have a 17. So,
I
It misses you, and it can't seem to get anyone that it wants. It doesn't like being surrounded, so it's going to just teleport and through all of you and end up behind Kaishar. And since they teleport, it doesn't take attack of opportunities because it effectively disappeared and reappears. So, Golos, you see this giant frog who just basically licked your face disappear and reappear behind Kaishar.
So, free action. After the lick, I'm gonna kind of like shiver but laugh.
Oh.
I typically pay for that type of fun. And then, after he teleports, I'm gonna shoot him with a guiding bolt.
Sounds good. Do it.
Yeah, there we go. That'll work.
That will hit for 15 radiant damage, and the next attack against him has advantage.
He's actually a masochist, and he's like, typically I pay for that kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. He is a masochist. What can
And
we
by
say?
that he meant ribbit.
Rubber. Anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay. Neo, it is your turn.
All right. So. Alright, so we got him on the ropes, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and head on over right to the outside of the tunnel here with my defender, and then do some firebolt.
You get advantage on your first attack because of guiding bolt.
What does guiding bolt do?
It gives the next attack advantage, and so since he hit with it and did damage, the next attack on it gets advantage. That's anyone, whoever attacks it next. So your firebolt, you get to roll with advantage.
Um,
So it's a helpful and hurtful spell, both at the same time. 22 for sure hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do 4 fire damage, and this thing is starting to look pretty bad.
Pew, gotcha.
Anything else on your turn?
And then as I hit the frog, seeing that it's taking damage, I'm gonna stay where I am right now, but keep vigilant.
Okay. Sounds good. Oliver, it is your turn. You saw the frog lick your buddy, try and take a bite at you, and then it just kind of disappeared into the shadows like it did with you, ended up behind Kaishar, and here we are.
Sprinting at that motherfucker.
Oh, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Yeah. 8. Okay. That's a solid chunk.
I'm doing my
Action surge.
second win or action surge.
All right, attack him again. That will miss, unfortunately.
Damn it.
All
What
right.
do I need? 14?
You need 15. You guys have been pretty close a few times, but yeah, 15 is the giant frog's armor class. So, do you wish to do anything as a bonus action?
No, I'll hold off on second win for now.
Okay. Kaishar, you have this giant frogman behind you. You would actually be right there.
A little bit.
Okay.
And then
He's going to take an
I'm
attack of
just
opportunity against you as you ran away. He's going to try and slap you with his tongue. He hits you. And he does 5, 6, 7 plus 18, 25 damage. And I need you to make a DC 15 strength saving throw, please.
That just means strength. I got to do
Yep,
anything else.
roll a strength save, yep. And you fail. So there are 2 ways he can use this ability. One is he can delay his attack, and the other one is he can immediately bite you. And since you're trying to run away from him, he's going to try to immediately bite you. I think that's how that works, right? Which can use a bonus action. Oh no, he can't use a bonus action. It was a reaction, so he cannot do that on this turn. So you get pulled as you run. You get pulled 5 feet closer. So basically, wherever you're going to go, you just have to be 1 square closer to the frog. So,
Okay.
and you don't get immediately bitten because you were running away on your turn. So.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'm gonna say I was going that far. So
Okay.
I ended up there,
That works.
you know.
Yeah. Cool.
And Did I waste my turn trying to run away?
No, that was just your movement, and you just got hit as you're running away. So you still have your action and your bonus action.
Cool. I'm gonna aim Eldritch Blast right in that thing's fucking eye.
Do it.
There you go.
Do it.
I have best. Yeah. Whoops.
12 will miss, unfortunately. All right. It is his turn. Seeing that you're as far away as you are, it's gonna have to move to get to try and bite you. So, well, it's just gonna try and hit you with its tongue again, because it has a longer reach on its tongue. Let's see if it hits. Does a 15 hit you? It does, and you take 9 necrotic damage, which I think is all the HP you had left. So you fall to 0, and you guys see Kaishar fall to the ground, unconscious. I'll put the skull on you, but you're not dead, you're just unconscious. Falls to the ground, unconscious, and you automatically fail your strength save, so you're moved closer, and as he goes to try and bite you, the way he's pulling you, Oliver is standing in such an inconvenient way for him that he cannot get around him to swallow you. So you are not swallowed or bitten by this frog. So,
I got you unconscious, buddy.
Golos. What you want to do, Golos?
Let's see.
You have an unconscious buddy and a giant frog and some friends.
How bloodied or hurt does the giant frog look?
Pretty hurt.
Like on its last legs, would you say, or?
He's looking pretty bloodied, yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna
So
move up here.
I shout out, play defense, not offense.
I don't know if I would know what that would mean.
That's fair.
So, what I'll do is I'm going to cast Healing Word
Okay.
at second level
Great.
on Kaichar.
Okay. So you get 8 healing points back, which means you are no longer unconscious. You are laying on the ground prone, but you have life back. So, you're
and
alive.
then, let's see. Yeah, I mean that was it for my.
You can cast a cantrip.
Even though I casted a Healing Word at second level.
Yeah, you could cast Healing Word at 9th level and still have a cantrip, because it's a bonus action spell. Once you cast a bonus action spell, all you're able to do for an action, as far as magic is concerned, is cast a cantrip.
That's dope as fuck. Hell yeah, Toll the Dead.
Alright.
And he's missing health, so.
It is a d12. Solid choice.
Ooh, nice.
9, okay. It's a wisdom save, right?
Yes.
He rolled a 15. He just passes, so he does not take any necrotic damage from your bells. So, Neo, you are up.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and seeing all of this action taking place, I'm going to run up right up behind Oliver next to Kaishar and do Cure Wounds.
Okay. So you cure for 9 more HP. Look at you, man. You're getting all the heals. Back to
That's right.
17.
That's my function, so. And then, as I heal Kaishar, my Steel Defender is going to attack the frog.
Okay. Roll that attack. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
That does hit for 3 damage.
There we go. Nice whip of the tail.
Alright. Do you want to move anywhere or stay where you are?
And then, like, alright. I'm going to move on the other side of the frog here. So, I'm trying to essentially intimidate it with my Steel Defender and myself.
Okay.
Trying to take the focus away from the party.
If you move to this one square further where you are, you can give Oliver flanking advantage.
Ah, yes.
Alright. Oliver, it is your turn. You have advantage on your attack, meaning you can, if you hold shift and press the attack button, it will roll it for you as advantage, but if it doesn't work that way, you can just roll the attack twice and you take the higher of the two.
Did it work?
It did work. Oh, Jesus. You rolled a natural
Wow.
20. So you roll, so roll your damage, click the bottom lesser dead stick. Jesus. So we always take, like I said, we always take the highest. So you're going to get 10 plus 8 is 18 damage, and this thing did not have 18 HP left.
Yeah.
It had 13 HP, and
There we
with
go.
and with and with that, you see Oliver rear back and just decapitate this
When
big
you're
old frog.
here, your family.
And this frog falls, just falling to the ground, dead, slimy, emitting all kinds of just gross stuff.
While it's falling, can I see if I can high five the hand that was in its mouth?
Sure, roll a sleight of hand check.
Nice.
Yeah, you can pull it off. It's more like you put your hand out and it just like falls and low fives you as it's coming down.
Awesome.
Swiss Army man shit.
Mm-hmm. You guys have defeated the giant frog Banderhob.
Hey, right on.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of put two and two together and realize that the blood trail led to was for the human that had been eaten by this frog.
Yeah.
Roll perception checks for me real fast. Oh yeah. So, Neo, you for sure see it. There is a like box barrel up there. You saw it from the drift globe. So
Okay.
that's some creepy sounds.
Can I cut open the frog's stomach and see if there was anything else in there?
Yeah, you can cut it right open. Its head's already decapitated, so you don't even really have to cut it open. You can just kind of separate it and you can look. You see that there are more human bones in there. You see a full leg that's been digested, but the bones haven't been broken apart yet. You see the remainder of a skull, and you see bits and pieces of like muscle tissue. So.
Did we all dissect a frog in high school? Raise your hand.
Baby, a fetus pig, actually.
I did a fetus
I did
pig, a
too.
cat, and a frog.
Any loot anywhere?
Neo, as he is looking through this box that he saw with his natural 20, you actually find 3 potions of healing.
3 potions of healing. Nice. So, all right.
And those are funky to find, so I'll just add them to your thing for you, because I always have a pain in the ass time trying to find them.
Okay.
Because they're not under potions, they're in a stupid other place. Yeah, they're under gear and not potions, which makes no sense, because they're potions. They're not listed with the other potions.
Gear, if you equip them,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
that's weird.
Why is someone setting off fireworks? It's only freaking May. Anyway, but yeah, so you find those potions. You hear the sounds of the cave haven't really changed much. You do see, however, that the water around this altar seems to kind of dry up now that the frog is dead, and you see under where the water was, there is another very small seal, similar to the spider one upstairs. This one is only about the size of like an orange. It's not very big. It's the same seal, so it seems like this was also an altar to, at some point, to some spider deity as well.
Can I put the drift globe in the water? Or does that disperse the spell?
There's no spell with the water. The water itself is just drying up after you killed the frog.
Oh,
So,
dope. Can I walk up to the altar and place a bone on it?
yeah, go for it.
So I'll take a bone from the frog
Mhm.
and then just go up and like place it on the altar. Does anything happen?
Do you say anything or do anything alongside putting this bone there?
I got a boner.
I
That's a good
God
one.
damn it.
That's a good one.
I guess I'll just kind of mutter, next time, show mercy.
You feel a weird sense of comfort, but it doesn't really seem to have an origin or an explanation. You just feel like this almost slight calm come over you. Um, you don't hear any voices, nothing. You just feel like a sense of comfort.
Hmm.
And you get inspiration.
Ooh.
So the way inspiration works, inspiration lasts until you lose it or until you use it. So you can at any point, if you roll any roll, whether it's an attack, an ability check, a save, anytime that you would effectively roll a dice, you could say I want to burn my inspiration, and you can re-roll whatever it is that you just rolled. On the flip side, you can also gift it to somebody else when they roll something and they don't pass. You could say take my inspiration and they can do the same thing. But then your inspiration, once it's used, it's gone. So it's
All the
basically just
time when I self-tape
it's a
people at
free
the
reroll.
studio.
Yep.
I can ask Golos what happened after watching him do that.
Hmm.
Did Pete say something?
Pete, you're real
Yeah, can
real
you hear me?
quiet.
Barely, man. You're pretty muffled.
I said, Kashar would ask you what happened when you did that.
Oh, he would ask you what happened to Golos since he's since he was unconscious.
Oh, it just the bone is there. I just feel calm. Um, so
So
anything else
basically, you're
of
like right here. There's no water here anymore. I just can't take it off the map. It's part of the actual map itself.
oh,
So you're there.
gotcha.
Yeah, it just effectively it's dissolved. So think of it that way. It's just painted into the map like that. So Neo, Oliver, what are you guys doing? As Kaishar is waking up from being knocked unconscious.
I help him up.
Okay.
Yep.
Come
I'm
on,
gonna go
buddy.
and walk over to Kaishar as he's waking up and give him 2 of my potions of
Okay.
my healing potions that I found in the barrel.
Do you want to drink them right now, Kaishar, or do you want to save them?
HP at?
You are currently at 17 of 34, and each potion does 2d4 plus 2 healing.
We want to maybe just take a short rest and get some of that back.
You can also do that.
Yeah, that's also an option, but they're also very good to have.
Yep. Cool.
Um,
All right. Well, I will add 2 health potions to your inventory since again they are a real pain in the ass to find. They're the only potions that are hard to freaking find. So you now have 2 potions of healing in your inventory that you can use. The way that I do potions is that you can take one as a bonus action and you can roll the dice for it. You can give one to somebody else as a bonus action, like you can just hand it off to them. You can forcibly feed it to somebody else using your action, and you can roll the dice and heal them. Or if you take your action to drink it yourself and use your whole action to do that, you get maximum healing from the potion. So there's a few options the way you can use them. Either get max heal for yourself, roll the dice and still attack, throw it to somebody, or force it down someone's throat. Those are your 4 options for potions. So, but yeah. So you guys want to take a short rest?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah, you guys can totally take a short rest. So go ahead and if you want to roll hit dice to get back some HP, you can do that. So you can roll up to 4 hit dice. Kaishar, that would mean that you could roll 4d8s. So it's 1d8 plus 1 for each of your dice, and you get your magic back.
Okay. How
And
do I
then,
roll D8 and just type it into the.
yeah, you can just either go /r space 1d8, or if you click on short rest in your sheet, you see there's a button that says roll hit die beside the warlock thing. It says like warlock 1d8 plus 1 total 4, then a little red B thing, and then roll hit die.
Where's short rest at?
It's right above your walking speed. So where your armor is 13, above that is 30, and then above that you see short rest. So you should be. Do you find it?
No, I see my armor is 12. Weird.
Oh,
But I see short rest.
oh, so refresh your page. Because I added it on there for you and didn't tell you to refresh your page.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it should be 13 now. And you should have +1 on saves. So. But yeah, so it should say 1330.
Yeah,
Yep,
cool.
and short
And then
rest
short
above that.
rest.
Yep, and if you click that, you'll see the thing that pops out from the side. You can
Roll
roll the
hit die.
yep, and then once you've rolled your hit dice, click the take short rest button. So then it will recover your magic for you as well automatically. So you have rolled an 8, a 6, and a 2. So far that is 16 hit dice, which basically puts you almost at full bar 1 HP. So
Nice.
so you don't have to use them all either. You can use a portion, none, or like some of them. So you're at maximum health now, and you cannot overheal. So you're at 34 out of 34, and you get your magic back. But you do not have any short rest dice left until a long rest is completed. So, and then Oliver, you can use hit dice if you want to as well. Anyone who wants to can, and you also get your short rest abilities back as well. So.
And what's the hit dice for again? It's for hit points.
Yeah. So if you do the same thing, if you look above armor, you'll see the walking speed and you see the short rest button. If you click on that, it will show you a little thing will pop out the side, and it says fighter, and then it says like hit die 1d10 plus a number total 4, and then if you just you should have 4.
1d10 plus 3 total.
Oh, plus
4.
3. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and so if you click on the roll hit dice, it will roll and tell you so you rolled 11 on your first dice. That's a really good roll. So you get 11 hit points back right away, and that gives you you're at maximum health now.
Great.
Yep, and so so all you have to do at that point is click the thing that says take short rest, and then click to confirm it when it goes green. And then that will give you back your action surge, and anytime you use your second wind, you get those back on short rests.
Sweet.
So your party should be focusing a lot on short rests because your cleric gets channel divinity back on a short rest, your warlock gets spells back on a short rest, and your fighter gets back most of their abilities on a short rest. So you should be taking them at least once a day. But you get your channel divinity back too, Alex. So even if you don't recover hit points and you're in a short rest, just always click the short rest and it will recover anything that you can recover for you. So, but yeah, so you guys take a hour-long break down here in the bottom of this cave that you have found. Well, more like this tunnel that you have found. What do you want to do?
Anything else around, or
You can pretty much
Like-
see everything in this little cave area.
then I'm just gonna motion to the party, be like, yeah, hey guys, let's see if we can find out what's down this way.
Okay.
What the fuck? Oh, you bastard.
What?
Win.
What?
God damn it.
You
Right
went
back.
You went the far way. You could have gone that way. You didn't. It's not my
That
fault.
is true. I'm just gonna be like, hey guys, leads us right back to where we began.
So
So
you
I guess
see,
I'll just
you see Golos
Yeah.
just walking.
Ridiculous walk. Okay, up the north path. Okay.
yeah. So I'm just gonna go back to the entrance, and then
Okay.
just wait for him there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys figure out
right
that
behind
it's
you.
basically there were just 2 paths to get down that way, and you guys just took the other path. So
We've
But-
already checked out everything else, right?
yeah, you have checked out the entirety. Here, I'll do this for you, and you can just see what the whole map looks like, so you can see everything. Do 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 do. There you go. Here's the whole map. To a point. Obviously down here is like where the blood trails and stuff were, but yeah, this was the whole map. And it looks like pie in the middle. which was completely by accident. I did not do that on purpose. Cool. So you guys make it to back to the back through the entrance of the tunnel. Oh no, my page froze. There we go. Let me get you guys to where you should be. Cool. So you guys make it back through that tunnel, and you end up back in this underground chamber where you were before.
Not waste time.
It was not a waste of time. You found stuff. Fun stuff.
Yeah, we found what the ring of protection, the cloak of protection.
Mm-hmm.
Kaishar, you now have 2 potions of healing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, XP.
You guys got a long sword. You guys got a shield. You got all kinds of goodies.
My dead
Yeah.
stick bottom.
And more importantly, we grew closer as a group.
And you almost
I-
died.
yeah.
Especially you and that frog.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. Though me and the frog were quite.
I can't believe I rolled
Very-
2 criticals with that frog on 2 different people.
Oh, I was very worried.
Yeah. You could probably take 2 criticals as a fighter. You have the HP for it, but not many other people in your party could take 2 criticals.
Yeah, but like I could only take 2 criticals, and
Yeah.
then he's through me, and
Yep.
then it's
The rest of you.
not a good time.
Welcome to be a fighter, man. You're always the front lines, and you're gonna take a lot of damage. But as long as you got capable healers in your party, it's okay because they'll never get to those healers. They'll just be beating the shit out of you the whole time.
That's-
If your healers remember that they can heal.
Yeah, right, Claire.
Neo,
You're
That was-
also the healer.
Like something to learn.
Well, the thing is, Neo doesn't
Heal-
have access to distance healing. Only you do.
that's
Yeah.
true.
So
I appreciate the heals.
Have we checked out this upper part?
yeah, you've seen all this chamber. You looked up.
Oliver
The rooms
has
and
seen all of it.
everything?
Yep, Oliver has seen everything. Oliver jumped through places he shouldn't have been.
Come on, don't drop the ball on that win. Oliver has seen all of it.
You're
Come
right.
on.
Oliver has seen all of it.
You seen Oliver Garden?
Yes.
I have.
Have you seen Oliver Guard in your party? Because that's what he was doing. There you
That's
go.
fair.
All right. So you guys can head back up through these stairs. This is where you came down after being chased by the Manticore.
Yeah.
I mean, where we killed that thing in the doorway.
I got the
I
wrong
still got it.
tokens. Hold on. I got the tokens with the wrong HP on them. Let me get the ones with the right HP on them.
I say you've got me at 34. I'm at 46.
Yeah, I just went to the tokens you guys had before.
No worries.
I'm missing. Who am missing? Somebody's not here. I don't know. I'll find them here in a second. All right, so let me put you back on the right page here. Let me put me back on the right page here. Who am I missing?
You're also missing me.
I'm 1, 2, 3. I'm actually.
Wouldn't say we've been missing you.
Just kidding. That's funny. Who don't I have? Oliver, Neo, Golos. Oh, I know who I'm missing. I am in fact missing on this next page Kaishar, because Kaishar just somehow
Oh,
doesn't
cool.
ever get copied over appropriately on my page. You have 34 HP, right?
Yes, 30.
Cool. And your maximum armor class is now 13, right? I think it is.
Honestly, at this point, I
Yes.
have
It's really not going through, huh?
Your armor class is right there on your page too, so it's right under your
Yeah.
right under your walk speed. So if you ever need.
At this point, I've completely forgotten what our original mission was. We've killed a Gryffindor and we've killed a frog.
So
ribbit.
all right, so you guys make it back up here. So your actual mission, the reason why you guys were coming this way anyway, was to hold on. You're not fighting. I'm skipping to the right music. Don't worry, it'll be combat music for a second. There you go. Now it's daytime forest sounds. No, so your original mission that you came this way was because you were told by Mayor Leonard Fellbottom that there was some trouble in Cardindead, where there have been skeletons and zombies that have been risen, and they are attacking people for who knows what reason, and that they would more than likely pay you to go and save them. And on the way there, you saw a posting for a manticore head that if you returned it to Card and Dead, they would pay you 500 gold to, I think it was 500 gold to return to give them the head because you're basically saving the countryside. So.
As you're saying that, Win, I want to be like slowly pulling the head up the stairs.
Well, you guys actually left the head up here. You kind of just buried it over here by this body. So you guys can easily get the head now and put it into. Actually, you could just strap it to the back of your steel defender, and the steel defender could carry it for you.
Perfect.
So.
Yeah.
Otherwise, let's Ark of the Covenant this bitch.
Yeah, my steel defender will do it.
Okay. So as you guys pick up the head and you make your way, making your way downtown. Copy fast.
Manticore head.
Manticore head, homebound. All right, so you, ba-dum bum
Cause
bum.
I miss you.
So there you go, right? So you guys start making your way.
'Cause I didn't roll.
So you guys make your way
Critical.
through the forest, and at this point it's probably mid to late afternoon, and you're probably a day or two away tops from Cardin Dead. And as you continue on your way, nightfall does start to approach. So you are welcome to either push through the night, or you can just go ahead and set up camp. What do you want to do?
We did get that short rest, fellas. What do you think?
Are we familiar with the area? Like, have we been through this way already?
Nope. You're basically from the path from the Manticore place where you killed him back to the main path you had traveled once before to get to where the Manticore is. So traveling back to the main road, you get there without a problem. And then you basically continue further east on the main road, which you have not traveled before. You were coming from west to east, and you kind of took a northern road to get to where this Manticore was. And that was your little detour. So now you're back on the main road heading east. So.
I think we should set camp since we aren't familiar with the area.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
What are we doing for watches, fellas?
I'll go first.
I'll go second then.
I'll go third.
Okay. So go ahead, and Alex, roll me a perception check, please.
Perception.
Hello?
Huh? Yeah, we
Hello?
can
Yeah,
hear
I can.
you. 15? Okay. Yeah, it's a relatively peaceful night, at least for your portion of the watch. Nothing really happens. You hear some owls hooting, you hear some animals growling off in the distance. Just general nightlife sounds, nothing worrisome, nothing kind of catches your attention like being out of place. And your watch goes by uneventful.
Righteous.
Whoever is taking the second watch can wake up and roll perception.
Is me.
Mm-hmm. With a 6, you're pretty tired. Even though you took the short rest, you're pretty beat after fighting that giant toad. So you're kind of doing that thing where you like fall asleep and wake up almost immediately. Your head just keeps bobbing and just like eyes shutting, snapping yourself awake, slapping yourself in the face to walk around. And you're more, yeah, right. You're more worried about keeping yourself awake than necessarily monitoring everything around you. But same, nothing really happens. It's a generally quiet night. You produce flame and you walk around as it's almost like a flashlight to kind of see your general area. And you also
Do we still have the drift globe?
You do, yeah. But it turns off when you go to sleep because you have to mentally keep it going. But the Steel Defender has 60 feet of dark vision and can basically be set up as a sentry for perception as well. Fun fact.
Also, I have dark vision.
Well, Neo doesn't have to sleep either.
No, but he does have to basically power down. So
Yes.
he's in like a passive state. He has the same thing as elves do, where elves only have to sleep for 4 hours. Neo I think is like 4 or 6, but he's in like this passive. Basically, he's in standby mode where he can't take normal actions, but his eyes are awake and he's passively perceiving. He just can't actively do things. But yeah, your watch goes by without any real problem. So whoever is the third, go ahead and roll. 7. Okay. Yeah, you are more concerned with making sure that your Steel Defender is working, and you spend a lot of time making sure that its standby mode and its patrol mode are working effectively. Because while you
Mhm.
cannot see through it, you can set it up a way. You can set it up in such a way that it can go off like 60 feet away from you, and if it sees something, you can have it basically sound a really obnoxiously loud alarm, because it's got a pretty good passive perception. And if it sees anything, it can just rear off like a force blast, or it can make whatever noise you want it to make. Because you can basically use your tinkering ability, and you can tinker something to go into its mouth, and it can make a noise for like 5 seconds. So that could be an alarm that you can make for it. So as you're looking at it, you're kind of getting these inspiration ideas of how you can set up an alarm system for your campsite that isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
So
And my Steel Defender cannot be surprised.
it
So
cannot.
it's very good.
It can miss
at
things that are better hidden than what it can see, but it cannot technically be surprised. So it just might not see it, but it won't get a surprise attack. So it can still die, but it
Mhm.
just won't be surprised when it happens. Like, oh shit, here comes my death. Oh no. um, but yeah, so the night goes by without issue. You you wake up in the morning and you have a lot of bugs that have made their way to your campsite, and they are flying around the decomposing manticore head. It's not like decomposing at a fast rate, but it's a dead animal head, so it's attracting some flies and some bugs and some maggots and stuff. Um, but you spend the majority of this day continuing your travel, basically make it almost to where you need to be. And anything in particular you want to do during the day's travel today?
Um, let's
You do all
see.
benefit from a long rest, so you get all that stuff. So
Can I just like kind of pray to my deity
yeah,
just throughout, I guess?
yeah, you can do that. Absolutely.
Cool.
Cool. Anybody else have anything in particular they wish to do during the day travel?
Like while we're traveling?
Yeah, because you guys are just walking and hanging out. So if there's anything you want to look for, if you want to like try and look for,
Just want to look for some herbs and spices for
yeah,
my
for
I
cooking.
want to read that book
my
I took from
cooking.
the cave a little
Oh,
bit more.
okay. Yeah, you read that book, so you can give me
Sure.
and
We
then
got
give me an
top.
intelligence roll, Peter, and then you can give me a nature check or a survival check, Oliver, and that will determine how well or how poorly you find herbs and spices.
Um, do I notice Kaichar reading the book?
Unless you're trying to hide that you're reading a book. I
Which
don't
I'm
see why.
not.
Yeah, you would see him reading a book.
Oh, hey man. New book?
I had to tell you all about how I got it from a bookshelf down in the cave, and might be helpful.
Oh, cool. What's it about?
It's about the botany
Is
of
it?
the Underdark.
Yes, that. And then I explain what that is.
So basically, it's a book that goes into pretty significant detail. There's a lot of science mumbo jumbo, like the kingdom phylums, classifications, all that jazz, of plants that are found specifically in the Underdark, which
Sorry,
is
dog had a thing.
obviously not where you guys are right now. You feel based on that's where you found the book that you may have been just in the precipice of the Underdark, but you know just historically that there are full societies who live underground in the Underdark, and while you are surprised to learn that there is a large amount of vegetation underground, since there's not a lot of natural sunlight, if any. Um, it is a good surprise because you learn that there are different ways that you can use that underground vegetation to create sustenance for yourself or build poisons or healing salves and things like that if you had the right equipment and you had the right plants that you could acquire from that region. That is basically what the book is about, at least what you have read so far. So it's like a general
Um,
encyclopedia of that stuff.
so since I have a poisoner's kit,
hmm
uh, I guess would I have proficiency in that if I read it, or
So you could take turns reading this book, but those plants in particular you will only find in the Underdark. So if you end up in the Underdark and you want to look for plants to make poisons, if you find the plants, then you would have proficiency and likely advantage to try and make the poisons, but you'd have to find the plants first. So, and those are all in the Underdark. So, you guys between the two, if you want to, you can keep reading this book on and off, just in your travels, just to kind of learn more. It's like a 200-page book, so I mean, there's a lot of information here, and you're not going to obviously be able to read it and remember all in one day. But you can always keep it as a reference point too. So it's just a good resource to have for something in the future. So, but yes, if you ever want to make poisons, um, you can make specific. I'll have you make specific checks with specific DCs, and then you can make so many attempts at trying to make poisons because you only have 5 vials in that kit. You just have to buy more vials if you break one, or if they're all full, or whatever.
Would I be able to, while we're on that topic, use any of the Manticore's head to make a poison?
The Manticore is not an inherently poisonous creature, so none of its physicality would be poisonous. So it would
But
not.
you do have that venom you collected from the dead spider's bodies on
You
your
do. And you can try and do that. You can try and make the poison because the poison you have to sit and physically set up your kit and actually start brewing things and mixing things around. So if you want to do that at the beginning of a long rest, you 100% can do that. You just can't do that while
Gotcha.
you're physically traveling because it wouldn't make sense to try and do like chemical shit while you're walking. It just doesn't work. But Oliver, you were trying to look for what were you trying to look for?
Some herbs and spices.
That's right. So you can either roll a nature or a survival check for some herbs and some spices.
+1, so it don't matter.
Ouch.
Boo.
So you find some plants, but they're not the ones that you're used to using, and you bite into them, and you're used to things like basil and cilantros and the very aromatic green herbs. But you bite into something, and it's very bitter. It's very earthy, and while it doesn't have any effect on you because you realize what it is very quickly, you did take a mouthful of poison ivy and bite into it, and you spat it back out very quickly. But nothing will happen because there was not enough of it in your mouth for a long enough time to give you poison ivy in the mouth.
Same thing that killed my high school girlfriend.
Okay, Neo, is there anything you wanted to do during your travels today other than just working on stuff with the defender?
Nope, I'm just keeping my defender nice and attuned.
Okay.
Just always looking around, being aware of my surroundings, but
All right.
there's not much.
Cool. So you guys make it through the day. Uneventfully, you're just kind of doing your own thing while just walking through. It's a really nice day. It's partly cloudy. You hear just the sounds of the woods and the animals just kind of living their day-to-day life. It's just a very nice, peaceful, flat land hike. Very easy going, very casual, just having yourself a nice time. If every day was this nice, you'd have no problems in the world. So you can set up camp for the night if you wish. Go ahead and set up. If you want to take watches, you can set them up however you want, or else you can just go to sleep.
Yeah. I want to have a karaoke night around the campfire. It was like a bonding
You can do that.
exercise. And so I sing "Holding Out for a Hero" at the top of my lungs until someone tells me to shut up.
Go ahead and roll a performance check.
I didn't know anything would come of that. Okay, performance check.
You shouldn't be too awful at them. He jumps up and starts singing "Holding Out for a Hero" surprisingly well.
Wow.
Does anybody jump in or try and stop him, or you just let him sing?
Um,
I'm gonna let him sing because he's doing a very good job, and given that it's a song from my reality, it's nice to.
It's weird because it's like it sounds like the song that you know, but the lyrics are different, and the beat is like, just because I know this is gonna bother Pete and it would bother me in reality, the beat is like 1/16 off.
Ooh.
So he's just off rhythm enough where Pete knows how bothersome this would be, but it's just enough that every now and again you're like, wait, that sounds a little off, but it's not. You're not well tuned enough in music to know that it's really not on time.
It's how a white dude claps to the beat.
Yeah, you're just off like that every few beats. You're just off by a hair.
Um, can I, if we're gonna have a long rest, I'll use speak with animals
Okay.
and basically like Snow White this bitch
Who are you trying to talk to?
and do what?
What animal are you trying to talk to?
Just random birds or squirrels or whatever, so they can get in and join Kaichar on the
Okay.
you know,
Get them to sing
the
with him.
music.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Go ahead and roll a d12 to see how many small critters are around you.
Oh,
All right. Significant. It's
half
like
the
a small
forest.
forest. So then we'll roll. We'll do them in groups of 3. So roll 3 persuasion checks with advantage because they're animals, to see how many of these animals want to stay and sing with your warlock.
I also want a couple of them to be frogs.
Okay. So 15 definitely works. You have 3 frogs. 4 does not work. Fails. Roll one more. 10. That's enough. So you have 3.
Oh wait, what the hell?
That's with it.
Roll.
It's with advantage. That's fine. Because I took the higher of the 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's fine. So you got the 15 and the 10 both passed, but the 4 doesn't. So you got 3 bullfrogs, and you
Yeah.
got 3 bullfrogs, and 3 birds are singing, or at least animal noising along with your warlock, who is singing, hanging on for a hero at the campfire. And the other 3 squirrels just kind of look at you like, "Oh, fuck off, buddy!" and they run away.
I told the dead on one of the squirrels.
Oh, you killed the squirrel.
Nice.
I'm not even gonna roll
I-
a wisdom save because it won't pass it, and you kill it.
I then go over and start prepping it for dinner.
You start cooking the dead squirrel that you just killed for dinner while they're all singing, having a choir.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unless anybody wants to do anything else for the rest of the night, you can go ahead and set up watches and roll perception checks.
No, I mean, I guess I'll take first watch again if that's cool with everybody. Hearing nothing, I will roll.
Yeah, I'll go.
Hey, wasted a 20.
You stay
It's a good
awake
watch.
without any problem at all. Your animals stick by your side, just singing into the night, almost obnoxiously keeping everybody awake, but, it becomes white noise in the end. You lose speak with animals after an hour, so after you hear them, they just turn back into the croakings and the birds. Whoever's next can go ahead and roll perception. Oh yeah,
Hey,
20. You get woken up to the obnoxious sounds of bullfrogs. And Kaishar, you're just like, nah, I'm not doing it, and you just stay asleep. You just ignore them and you just stay in bed. You don't have nothing suspicious happens overnight. It's relatively peaceful, other than the annoyance of, well, bullfrogs just croaking through the whole night. And these bullfrogs, they say one thing each. They say bud, wise, and all night long. So, as you wake up, you benefit from a long rest. So, if you have any spells you want to change, as far as the cleric and the artificer go, you can do that. But you continue on the path to um, to the city where they were talking about Cardin Dead. And as you approach the city, you see that it's not quite as big as what they described to you. You see as you get close, there are a number of buildings, one very large hold, all made from brick, looking like they're probably of dwarven build. You also see that as you get closer to the city, there are 2 significantly sized graveyards, and the ground itself is actually of 2 different colors. The ground by the graveyard looks like it's more more dirt and more dead almost, and the ground by the cities is almost like there should have been life there, but the life has been sapped away and it has become gray, and all life has seemed to be drained. As you approach, you should see the city now. You should be on that page. You guys are in the top right. But you approach and you see that there isn't really you don't really see anybody. You see buildings. I mean, it's pretty early in the day, like just after it's like late, mid to late morning. You see that
Mhm.
there are a number of different stone buildings here. You see these graveyards, and as you look, you see some of the graves have been busted out of um, things like this, where there are holes where the graves should be. And as you're getting close, you do see that there are you do see a shambling mound of bones kind of clamber in there and just kind of collapse inside. You don't see anything or hear anything immediately in this town, but you feel a general sense of uneasiness in this region. It feels like the life has been sapped out of the area, and that something unnatural and necrotic maybe is around, but you're not sure.
Good news is everything burns, right, boys?
He says.
That it does, but I'm gonna go ahead. I need to look around more. Something's up.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception checks or investigation, whichever you would prefer.
Investigation.
Okay.
I might have.
Okay, so Jesus, natural 20 for
God.
investigation, huh?
Look at this guy.
That's my main thing. Is I like to investigate.
It's true. He is good at that. So as you start to approach these graveyards, you start to hear these crows cawing, and the wind gets slightly chilled. And as you're looking, as you look into, do you actually walk into the graveyard, or do you just look from this distance?
I'm right on the outside here.
Okay.
I'll hop the fence and look in.
Okay, yeah, so you walk through the broken edge in the fence there, and you look into the graves that seem to have the entrance busted open. And as you look
Mhm.
down, there is no body. There is a coffin which seems to have been broken through. There is remnants of clothing and tattered belongings of whatever was buried there is there. And as you look around this graveyard more, you see that most of the graves are in this condition. They're either broken, the tomb covers are destroyed, the entrances have holes in them. There are no bodies in the tombs, in the graves. They seem to have been forced out, but from the inside
Oh,
of the coffin.
so this isn't from decay. This is forceful destruction.
This is a forceful exit from the coffin from the inside.
Ah, well that.
Kaishar, you just notice that there isn't anybody immediately in the town that you can see. The windows are all shut and boarded up. Doors are all shut. There doesn't seem to be any like street lights. There are a couple of windows with some light coming from them, but it's very, very dim, and it's coming from like the back of this building up here. And it's coming from between like boarded windows. You can kind of notice it, but that's about the best you can get. And then Oliver, you see similar to the same thing. You see where the ground has changed from this like earthy dirt kind of ground to this lifeless gray, like all life has been drained from that land. And this town, this is what you see right now, but you can see that the graying of this land goes back much further than what is shown on this map. Like it goes back as far as you can see. The trees that are here, all the leaves seem to have been taken from them. The bark itself is this ashen kind of lifeless gray. It looks like what trees look like in winter, but much more dead, much more decayed. Everything on this side and the trees look the same, but they look like what you expect in the winter. They don't look any more dead than usual. It seems that only affects the town side of things, but the graveyard side of things looks as natural as you would expect, bar the graves that have been destroyed from inside.
Hmm. What are our thoughts, boys?
All right. So I'm gonna hop over to the group here and let them know. I looked into the that graveyard down there, and it looks to be all of these graves have been broken in from the inside, and there are no bodies. So, uh, what? Just be aware. We may be dealing with what was ever in those coffins.
Oh, let me see.
Are zombies viral in this world? Like, if you get bit, do you turn into one?
You do not know.
Does anyone in the group know?
I can roll a
History?
possibly a history check.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Nice.
So you don't have too much knowledge of zombies because you haven't seen any since you've been in this world. You haven't actually ever seen any. But just from what you recall from your knowledge being back in your home plane, people weren't necessarily turned into zombies through being bitten most times. It was either caused by some sort of widespread plague, or in some novels or um, graphic media that you've read and seen, um,
Mm-hmm.
by magic or something. So you would assume, being in a world full of magic, that the rules are probably similar in that they would have to be raised from the dead, or some other ways turned into a zombie, not necessarily by physically being bitten,
Mm-hmm.
but there are more. If there are zombies, then there are more than likely other creatures from your like horror knowledge from your home world that probably also exist in this planet or this realm.
Okay.
Okay. So we're either dealing with a necromancer or a plague.
Okay.
Um,
Well, the bottomless dead stick can kill a necromancer.
You hope so, but
It's bottomless and it's
Well,
a dead stick. Of course it can.
would a religion check give me any insight about the graves or anything like that my god might know of?
So you are a cleric of the domain of death. So
And Mercule is also the god of death too.
yeah. So what I'll say is you can do a religion check with advantage to see what you might know about this type of situation.
Boom! What
There you go.
the
Natural
fuck? Why
20.
does oh
Because it rolls it twice and we just take the higher. Um,
yeah, but it pops up on a D&D Beyond
oh
as
yeah.
the lower.
Oh, it does because you have Dice Roller and D&D Beyond. You can just turn your Dice Roller and D&D Beyond off and it won't show up like that if you want.
I like the noise, but yeah.
That's fair. But with a natural 20, um, you and your specific domain have a preternatural affinity for death and, well, avoiding it, um, and controlling it in a way, based on the powers that your deity has provided to you. In that, most times when you're dealing with zombies, or the undead, or things that were once alive and then were killed and then were returned to that life, whether it's undeath or truly resurrected, that there's always a cost to be paid, and typically the more that you try and utilize the power of raising the dead or regenerating the dead, the cost becomes higher and higher. And you have heard of specific situations where people have been able to utilize the power of nature to exhume and reanimate dead for nefarious purposes. You don't know exactly what came of that situation because it's more so a rumor than something you have personal experience with. But
Mm-hmm.
you have heard that somebody did once try to utilize the death's the power of natural death to try and counteract death itself. If they used nature magic in combination with necromancy to try and resurrect an undead group of beings for something. You don't know how many they tried to resurrect, you don't know what it was for or who it was, but you do know that the region that they did it in basically stripped the natural area of all of its nutrients and reserves. Looking something similar to this graying land, almost like the life has been drained from it, like its natural life. It's similar. This kind of reminds you of that in a way when you look at the graves and you look at the land. It kind of looks like that might be similar, but you don't have enough specific information to know if that is exactly what it is. But it reminds you of that. It reminds you of that story, that rumor that you heard um, a long time ago.
Would a nature check reveal anything?
It wouldn't give
Or
you any more than you. No, it wouldn't
perception?
give you any more than you already know.
Okay.
You would be able to perceive that the graying and the lack of life on the land goes back very, very far, like acres upon acres upon acres as far as you can see, but
Mm-hmm.
it won't really give you any more than what you just got. So, because you
Well,
just
I
got a
guess
lot
then
with a natural 20, so
that's fair.
yeah.
I mean, are these all houses? Are the doors unlocked?
The houses, some of the doors are unlocked and some of them are locked. So
Okay, well, what about this one?
you try to open it and it is unlocked.
Can I check for traps real quick?
You can roll an investigation.
Oh, investigation. Fuck.
16. That's a perception. Roll me an investigation. 6.
Damn.
So with an investigation, the house doesn't seem to be trapped. It just seems to be unlocked and open. While Golos is going to this house and going in, Kaishar, Oliver, what are you two doing?
Is this the house over here?
That is like a little market. There are some storefront stalls and some equivalent to what look like offices, maybe.
Okay, can I investigate this area?
Yeah, go ahead and roll investigation. That up there, Kashar, looks like a government keep almost, like the most secure building in this town, or this little, like, ramshackle village. Um, with an 8, you can see that there is still food on these stalls. It seems to have been rotten, almost like it was rotten very quickly, because it looks fresh on the outside, but when you go to open it, like just you grab one of the apples or the pieces of fruit that's there, it almost like breaks apart in your hand, and you can see that the inside of all of this produce just turns to ash in your hand. And as you look around a little bit more, you see there is a skeleton just kind of um, slumped down behind one of the counters. So Kaishar,
Down.
yeah, just kind of sitting on the ground behind one of the stalls with his head just kind of drooping in front of him, or her. It's a skeleton. You don't know. With a natural 1, Kaishar, you do not see anything inside this building, and it is very much locked. So
Do I see anything in the little house that I'm in?
as you look in and you walk in this house, you see that there doesn't seem to be anyone living here, and there doesn't seem to have been anyone here for a while. There are cobwebs really starting to build up inside this place, larger than normal cobwebs. You do see that there is a family portrait that is really, really dusty, and as you kind of take the back of your palm and just wipe it off, you see that it's a family portrait of a of 2 men and 3 children. It looks like a family of sorts. They look of dwarven descent. They both have pretty thick beards. One of them is much more gray than the other, and one's lighter, so it looks like one is much older than the other. But they are all like they have their arms wrapped around these 3 children. 2 young dwarven females and one dwarven boy. The boy looks to probably be the equivalent of like a 6 or 7 year old human boy, and the 2 girls look to be twins, about the teenage age range. They're dwarves, so their ages are kind of funky. They don't necessarily look the age that they are. Teenagers are actually like 50 in dwarven years, so they look about the age of what you would assume a younger group of children would look. But you don't see any signs of this family in this house. Um, Oliver, your skeleton is kind of just slumped there around. They still have remnants of clothes on, like not full pieces of clothing, but this skeleton has a shoe on one foot and then he has two gloves on. Like this, like they may have been a worker of sorts, or they had to wear gloves for something, but they're like leather gloves rather than like gloves that you would use for jewelry or anything. They're more like gloves that you would use if you're doing laborious work, whether that's cutting things with axes or hard labor to kind of protect the skin on your hands so you can do your job a little bit longer and do things a little bit harder without worrying about risking injury to yourself.
Well, this doesn't make sense, fellas. The rate of decomposition would take years to just be a skeleton, but he's still wearing gloves and some rags and shoes and stuff. And this fruit, while like ash, while decayed, looks fine enough on the outside. There's definitely something not right about this.
Hmm. It's almost as if the organic matter has left the object itself.
Interesting.
Hmm.
What's over here? Is this a house?
So that these are all more houses. Yes, this itself looks to be more of like a smithy. Like, and if you look inside, you see there is a forge there. It doesn't seem to be lit, but there are some weapons in there. They don't look like anything super special, but there are a few hand axes in there. There looks to be some stone cutting tools and um, some smithy tools in there. So whoever worked here was a person who dealt in like weapon forging and repairs and things like that. So
Then where I am right now, does this look like a temple of sorts?
it does, yes. It looks like a holy temple of some sort.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk in here and seeing that it looks religious-y. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna roll a religion check.
Okay. Womp. A 9.
Well,
You
go
don't
ahead.
you don't recognize anything, any of the religions of this place. It looks to you like there are multiple different symbols laying on the walls in this place. There's lots of different religious iconography, so there's a lot going on, and you can't really put your nose to any of them specifically, like what religion these people might have followed. It just looks like this might be a temple where many different religions were followed or practiced or accepted. So it looks like this is a temple where people of many different faiths could gather together and do their worshiping in unison rather than feeling isolated. But that's the best you can get. So.
Where they would have weekly screenings of God's Not Dead, starring Kevin Sorbo.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just doing a quick scan of the surrounding areas and stuff. Does anything really catch my eye? Or do I get drawn to one place or another over another?
Roll a perception check. 22. So you just kind of walking around the the temple, through the graveyards, looking through this house. Um, you it's strange because most people don't worship deities of the same of the same alignment as what you do. Um, you know that the deity that you worship is inherently seen as evil. That's just something you've accepted. You know this. You know that's just kind of what it is. Like there's a law, like there is a set of rules with Merkel, but generally Merkel is considered to be an evil deity. You know this, you
Mhm.
accept this. You don't necessarily go and preach the word of Merkel, but you know where you can and where you can't kind of proclaim that they are in fact your deity. So when you see another deity being worshipped of the same kind of alignment, it
Mhm.
catches your eye. You don't know this deity's name. It's scratched out too much. It looks like someone had come and purposefully broken up the engraving of this deity's name, but you see their their symbol, and you see it's a triangle with with three teardrops on it. It is like a black triangle with a purple inlay with three golden tears in a triangle pattern inside of it. The triangle itself being upside down, and the teardrops being each in one corner with a black border around this purple triangle. Um, you roll a religion check with advantage to see if you know who the deity is by the symbol alone, because you might. You you can't recall the name of the deity, but you've seen this symbol before,
Mhm.
and you know that this deity stands for two things. One, death, and two, disease. And you
Hmm.
recognize this symbol because this deity of death goes in complete opposition to the set of laws that Merkel has. Even though they kind of fit inside the same domain, they are rivals, but not in a competitive kind of building each other up kind of way. The opposing deity to yours want to take over the domain for themselves and take and have all of the worshippers to bolster their own power. So,
Um, Noticing that, could
mhm.
I put my hand on the statue and ask Mercule to destroy it?
You can try. It's a very, very high DC, I will tell you that. You're basically asking for a miracle, but you can try. You can roll a religion check. Actually,
Or rather, can I ask him, would he like me to destroy it?
you can do that. Roll another religion check with advantage again, because this is more in your house. You get you don't necessarily get a response or a direct feeling from Merkel, but you have a feeling that it wouldn't be the worst idea to get rid of competitive deities.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think it would upset him if you did it. You don't know if it'll necessarily like if he'll give you some grand boon or gain favor with him, but you are very certain that if you did destroy it, it would not hurt your relationship with them in any way. So the decision is wholly on you to whatever you want to do. While that's happening, Kalishtar or
Hey,
Kalishar, what are you doing?
well, let's see. Mostly waiting for everyone else to figure out where we're going. I'm gonna check out this graveyard down here
Okay.
because I don't think no one checked this out yet, right?
No, he
So
was over in this graveyard over here.
I'm gonna do a
You can do perception
perception.
or investigation, whenever you want.
My investigation sucks, and
Okay.
so does
Percy
my
Jackson
perception.
and the
So with a 7, you see kind of the same things that were being described before. You see many of the graves have been broken out from the inside, coming outwards and upwards. Um, you do notice that there are two statues at this graveyard that aren't at the other one, and they're facing different directions. These two big statues that you can see right here, right here. Yeah, and they're facing two different directions slightly, but that just they're just statues, is what they look like anyway from here. Um,
If
yeah.
I go to the base of this and I look at the base, does it look like it's been twisted or anything like that?
Roll an investigation check.
Wink.
It
I
looks
suck
like
at
it's a very, very big, heavy statue that if it had been moved, it would take a very large feat of strength or some magical power that you don't necessarily know what that would be. It looks like it may have been moved because it's not looking the same direction as the other one, and you don't know if that's by design or if someone has done that. But if it has been moved by some means, it's one that you can't quite determine.
Um, if I can, I'll probably evens odds, destroying the statue.
Okay.
So I guess evens I will, odds I'll just leave it be for now.
All right.
I destroy the fucking statue.
How do you destroy the statue?
Well, I guess oldie but a goldie, I'll have my mace in hand and just swing for the hills.
All right. So you spend a solid 15-20 minutes just thwacking at this statue because it's pretty well put together and it is made of very sturdy rock. Dwarfs do not make anything half-assed when they're using stone. So it takes you a while to break this thing, especially because you're not super, super strong. You're strong, but you're not like the strongest. But you take a solid 15-20 minutes and you're just beating on this statue with a hammer, with a mace. Oliver and Neo, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna check out these three houses here.
Okay. Two of the houses seem to be locked, but
Okay.
the one that you're at right now does not seem to be locked. It seems to be unlocked. The door's cracked a little bit. Not cracked like broken, like cracked like it's partially opened.
Okay.
And if you open the door and go in, Jesus, that's a really nice roll. You see that there are a few things. This house is very clean, very organized. Things are very well put together. Almost look like it's been recently lived in. Um, it's there's no cobwebs and dust anywhere. There are also strangely no pictures or evidence of the residents who may have lived here before. Um, you do, however, um, find a couple of letters, and one of them is addressed to Mayor Leonard Fellbottom, and it is, as you read it, it says this is the third request that we have sent for aid. Our town is under attack from people with the ability to raise the dead and use them against us. Um, all of our help has been mercilessly destroyed. I'm writing this as a last ditch effort to try and um, save my people, save my family. And as they write save their family, you see that as they go to finish the Y, the pen or the quill they use seems to have been drug across the rest of the paper, and it's laying there beside the letter, and there are a few blood drops on the bottom of this letter.
I
And
must have gotten a nosebleed and had to stop writing.
right, and the other piece of information that you see is in similar handwriting, but it's a little bit more eloquent in its actual appearance. So it's like someone was writing in their common handwriting and then someone went into their calligraphy. It just looks prettier, but it's the same. Looking with that natural 20, you can see that it's the same stroke motions, the same ink, same quill. It looks like the same person probably wrote this. And this seems to be more of ramblings about the disease and the plagues that have taken over the lands, or their lands, have stricken down many of the members of their community. How there are folk who are trying to utilize the power of undeath and disease, wearing the upside down triangle with three teardrops symbol on their cloaks, with their faces unseen, and the way they describe what they're wearing on their face is almost that of a Raven Plague Doctor mask. Um, and they are talking about how these people have come. They are turning the people against one another. They are raising the resting dead from their rightful place in the earth and using them for their bidding. Um, and from what this person has managed to figure out, it seems that the god that they are, or the deity that they are trying to garner their power or garner favor for, is that of Talona, the goddess of disease and poison. So it's this right here. And then they kind of rambles on a little bit more about what has happened to the land itself, how the disease that they've brought with them their um, has killed their natural environment, has taken away all of their resources, and the town's beginning to turn each other, and they fear that they will be one of the few to survive, and they're going to have to run. It looks like the first was a letter, and this was almost a journal entry that didn't quite get to the journal. It was on a free piece of parchment that didn't get put into any type of journal anywhere, and that's what you find in this house.
Okay. I burst out of the house, running back to the group. Guys, it's a cult.
You mean a cult or a cult?
Yes. It's a group of people worshiping Talona, the goddess of disease and poison.
And at that
And
moment,
they-
Golos, when you hear Talona, it's one of those aha kind of moments. Like, you were right there, and when they describe Talona, you put it all together. Like, of course, Talona has the upside down triangle with the three tiers. Those signify her disease, poison, and death. Those are the three tiers of her power. When you put them all together, you remember that the person who did the story that they did have before of the person trying to strip the land of its magic was a worshiper of Talona, and they combined their own natural druidic powers with that of the power of necromantic death. And that person, you don't know what happened to them, but you do know that they may or may not have been an avatar of Talona herself from the story you were told.
Did I just destroy Talona's statue?
Yep. You did.
Huh.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
You don't know.
I'm not entirely sure. What other houses were locked? I want to see if I can get into them, see if there's any.
You can try and get into one of the top two. They are both locked.
All right.
As you're trying to break into those houses up there, Keshar, as you're looking at these statues, the statue in front of you, the one directly in front of you, you hear and you see the head on the statue turns and looks down at you, and its stony gray eyes seem to open, and you see behind them these just black, voidless eyes, just staring. Almost feels like they're staring into your soul.
Because they are.
And that's where we're going to finish the session.